Hi guys, thanks for joining me this evening, this afternoon, middle of the night, today. How are you? I'm going to see if I can keep this show as close to 10 minutes as I can this evening. So, it's essentially going to be kind of a list of things and then kind of putting those things into context. There are a couple of things that are disturbing, so if you are easily triggered by not words, I'm careful enough of that, but I don't know, incidents, concepts, activities, all those things. So, as promised on two promos, this is going to address this sort of like intersection of ages with regard to shooting ET. I mentioned a few clips ago while I was applying my chemotherapy medication that, I sort of glibly said I've been bullshitting you guys a little bit. Well, this is kind of most of it. There's other stuff. We'll get to that. I won't wait for a book. So I'm going to read you a list that is technical because I was only, okay, I glossed over a lot of stuff. And I'm going to read you what my rap sheet is. It's not official. I was never arrested. But these are the activities that for, let's say, a 23-year-old today would probably put them in prison. So, yes, folks, in my 14th and 15th year, in other words, 24 months over that period, almost approximately, maybe bleeding over, and not even 16. I had my head pretty straight by 16. Well, whatever that is. So here's my rap sheet, guys. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Remember, 14th year of age, 15th year of age. And then I'm going to have to put that into context for you. Here it goes. Grand theft auto, endangerment, breaking curfew, underage drinking, trespassing, truancy, public intoxication, driving without a license, falsifying state identification, underage entry, public nuisance, purchase and use of narcotics, purchase and use of hallucinogens, use of false identification, vandalism, and underage sexual activity, and then, lest we forget, 2. Victim of aggravated RAPE multiple times, victim of statutory RAPE multiple times. So, not all of that is a rap sheet, as you can tell from the last two items, but there you go. Those are the things that I did. Flat out. Mission accomplished, for better or worse. Those are the things that I did in my 14th and my 15th year. All of them. So, the context. As I said, I've glossed over this overlap in this time between the bad stuff and ET and how old was I and was it before, was it after? And I guess to some folks that would be a no-brainer. But for everyone, me included, for the rest of us that didn't really kind of put that two and two together, as I am wont to do or not to do, I sort of let it go. I sort of let it slide. Not really intentionally, but I just sort of kind of let it slide, right? So I had an interview the other day, and please do not feel guilty about anything. This was bound to happen, my love, meaning the guest on my show. She confirmed that I had only turned the age of 15 2 days into shooting ET. I thought, because I have like kind of a warped sense of like linear time, if you want more information about that, you're going to have to read my book. I don't mean it to be a cliffhanger, but I just can't. So, so there was this overlap, guys. So in my 14th and my 15th year, what I thought was kind of turning 15, kind of at the end of ET, was actually at the very beginning, like on the second day of ET. So I cannot escape those 24 months, okay? So these things happen within those 24 months, which meant that the year before ET and during ET, I was not engaging in the following during any shooting. This was all recreational and after hours. Okay, so I was not drinking. I was certainly not trespassing. I was not being a nuisance, of course, and I wasn't, of course, purchase and use of narcotics. None of that was happening. I was not under the influence at any time during any shooting at ET. I'm meaning during the duration, the 11 weeks that I had. 11 weeks is not that long. You can dry out in 11 weeks. No, I'm kidding. So that is that's where we were headed. So the bad stuff did happen, in fact, the year before ET and the year of ET until I turned 16. Was I doing some of that felonious stuff like Grand Theft Auto and whatever, like during the shooting of ET? Like within that 11 weeks? I wish I could say absolutely not. And I want to say that. But the truth is, I don't know. I don't know if some of those felonies occurred during those 11 weeks. I am sure they didn't, because there were very early call times. We were being flown up to ILM. We were on location all over the county. So there's just no way I could have done those things and been shooting ET at the same time. However, the day after wrapping the movie is open season. Of course, before I knew that I had ET, that I got the part, yes, all those other things happened. I didn't know it was going to be an ET, and I didn't plan to take down any franchise, nor am I trying to take down any franchise. I speak the gospel. Okay? Got it. I was very good at secrets for thousands of reasons, which are in my book, and we will probably get around to, because I'm basically giving you my next book, and then I'm planning kind of my second book differently, because I'm really giving you a lot of what I was going to put in my second book. But oh well, no one lives forever. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow, and then y'all didn't know. So I was very good at secrets. I'm not so good at any of that anymore, but I was very good at secrets. My motto was, you're not lying, you're just not telling. I've always been very bad at lying. Even when I was doing a lot more lying, I don't lie. I just don't. I don't see any point in it. But I'm terrible at lying. I'm a dead giveaway. Even ask my husband, ask my son. I just am incapable of doing it effectively. But secrets, that's my wheelhouse. So I could keep those secrets very well, and I was very convincing, and I was masking, kind of wearing a mask, and that was what I was taught to do my whole life. Since I was 6 years old, sitting in a tree under hot Klieg lights, holding a can of Mountain Dew, shaking it, and saying, Yahoo, Mountain Dew at 6, okay? By 7, I was a member, as I've said, of 3 trade unions, SAG, Screen Actors Guild, Actors Equity, and AFTRA. I was all members in good standing by about 7. Because I started my stage work at, 8, 9. So there you go. Thank you. I don't know what to say. You guys, I just read a felonious list. I turned out pretty okay. 16 was good. I had my license. I didn't have to worry about, wasn't so wild. Had girlfriends and friends. And yes, that is a whole nother show. Let's not even go to girlfriends and boyfriends and all that. So anyway, we are kind of on time this evening, and that was kind of my promise. It was kind of on the promo, the arrows kind of going in 2 directions with the ages, and saying that, what did I say? I have some explaining to do, something like that. So that's that bullshitting I was referring to when I was putting on my chemotherapy stuff. Nothing more than that. I would never bullshit you guys. If it's, I mean, that's the kind of, I don't want to say the fun thing about being me, and you know, moving forward with this movement of mine, is that you can't blackmail me. There's not. I'm untouchable in that department because everything I know, I did. You know, or will know when you get my book, or will know in the second book, or whatever. I have no secrets. And if you know one on me, please give it to me so I can make a whole show out of it. Okay? Love you guys as always. Believe it. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.